Guys, welcome back to the channel. So in part one of this little series here, knocking out $250,000 in debt, we kind of went over the setup, basically how to write down all your bills, separate them out, and kind of get them in order. So let's kind of look at the process in this one. Let's get into the video.
Let's create a budget. Let's get out of debt. Let's build wealth.
So picking up where we left off, we had $254,000 in debt, about $1,556 in cash flow. So there is a couple of things we need to correct here. That is, looking at this $523.38, this is a dividend that's paid out every 3 months. So to average this in monthly, we would need to divide this by 3. So this will actually be $174.46. So that will give us a cash flow of $1,207.89. Also, looking at the timeshare fees, this is we averaged it out monthly, but this is only paid once a year in December. So we're gonna take this out, and we're just gonna make that payment in December for that timeshare fee. And one other thing is this property taxes. This, they were paying $200 every month, but we stopped that because it's due in April and October every year. So Mandy was paying $200 every month, $246. That way, by the time the bill came, she just made that $200 payment. You never really see the bill. But we're gonna now hold this in the line of credit. So this will be zero, but we'll pay it every twice a year. So and that'll bring our cash flow back to $1,524.89. And we'll look at the reason why we're doing this. And this isn't the actual amount of the line of credit, but let's say you had $1,200 that you owe on your line of credit, and and I clarified this as far as the taxes. When that bill comes, there's no benefit to paying early, the $246, except the fact that when you get the bill, it's just a routine and it's another payment. But that first month, so if you're paying $1,200 for 6 months straight, you're paying interest on $1,200. But after month one, after month one, that $200 is now sitting in the line of credit. That's literally $200 less you're paying interest on. And then after the next month will be $800, $600, and so on. And then as you're paying that, it's kind of have a compounding effect, right? I mean, you're paying a lot less month one, a lot less again, and even more less on month 2, and then on 3. And the difference is you have the $200 sitting with someone you don't even know, a tax office somewhere, just sitting in an account in which they're probably utilizing it to, build interest or whatever, versus it sitting in your line of credit. So that's the thing. It's just by looking at this and being able to just shift some money around and to control where it sits at, you're literally creating money that wouldn't have been there in the first place. So that's kind of why we're doing all of this, even with the credit cards, by pushing all of this out. That's how velocity banking works with credit cards. You're pushing time out, and that's more time that the cash can sit in your account. Okay, so we have our new cash flow of $1,524. So let's kind of look at the process and how this is going to work. So we're going to keep the checking account at $1,500, and currently, one second. Okay, so they currently have $2,062 in their checking account. So the way this is going to work, we have a total of $5,906.18 in expenses that's going to be coming out every month. So we have their budget card, the credit card they're going to use for their budget, which is $2,240 a month. That payment is due on the 25th of the month. And then due on the 14th of the month will be their other credit card, which we call the Bills card, the Bills credit card. That'll be a total of $1,822.93 that will be coming out every month on the 14th. So budget comes out 25th of every month. every bill that can be paid with the credit card will be coming out on the 14th of the month. The remaining payments that cannot be paid with credit card will be coming straight out of the bank account. We'll have the car payment due the first of every month for $400. We'll have the line of credit. I put $500 here, but since this is going to be what we're going to be using to pay the debt off with, there's really no due dates because we're going to be constantly moving money into it. Then we have the HELOC. We're just going to be paying the minimum interest due the 5th of every month. That interest is about $468, or where we're going to be just make that a straight $500. Then we'll have the utilities 1 and 2. Those for this particular where they stay cannot be paid with credit card. It has to come out of the bank account or checking account. So we'll have $215 coming out on the 21st, and the second one of $100 that's due on the 2nd. We'll also have the HSA or health savings account has to come out of the checking account. That's $113.25 due on the 25th, and that miscellaneous expense of $15 due on the 10th. So those total expenses that will be coming out of their account every month will be $5,906.18. So again, a total income $7,431, expenses $5,906.18, cash flow $1,524.89. So looking at that expenses that's coming out, it's pretty broken down: checking account, budget card, credit card. It's simplified. That's all that we'll have to be paying every month. So by using the credit card, whereas these bills would have been randomly coming out of the account every month, by basically what you're doing when you tie everything to a credit card. If you know, some people don't like using credit cards. If you pay a credit card off in full every month, it's just like taking it out of your checking account. 0 interest. It doesn't matter if you have a 48% interest rate on your card. As long as you're paying it off every month, there's 0 interest. Now, there's a couple benefits to this. First, you know, if it's a rewards card or something like that, you will get those rewards back. But what it's doing, even if you weren't using velocity banking, even if you weren't utilizing a line of credit or anything like that, whereas you used to, right? I mean, you have these payments coming out 21st, 2nd, the 6th, 19th, 5. It's like you're paying a bill every single day or every other day. But by putting all that on the credit card, you move all of these due dates to one due date. So if it's on auto pay and it's paying out a credit card, the only thing you have to do is log in and make that credit card payment. That credit card payment is actually paying all of these, and it's not costing you to do that as long as you're paying that credit card off. If you're not paying that credit card off, then yeah, it's better just to have it come out of your checking account. You know, you can also put everything on auto pay from your checking account. You still, I mean, that, you know, you still wouldn't have to worry about it, you know, but to be able to check it, to keep up with it, you know, to be able to log into one card, get those extra benefits, push all the due dates to basically one day, you know, utilizing a credit card. It's a pretty useful strategy. I mean, if you're spending on that card on top of this, that could cause really a lot of problems, because then you could go over your credit limit. You might not have enough to pay it off every month. So just be careful. I always advise, you know, separating budget from bills. That way, you know for a fact that you're going to be able to pay that card off, you know, at least the bill card off every month. And you know that you have the money to do that. And then by separating, if you have a budget, the problem with a credit card on budget is if you can't stick to the budget and that credit card credit line is higher than the actual budget amount, then you may run into another problem where you go over your budget and then you can't pay that off, and now you're actually paying extra. I mean, that Coke that's, you know, Coke bottle or soda bottle that costs $1.89 now, which I can't believe. But now if you end up not paying that card off, technically you're really paying like $2.50, $3 for one bottle, right? Because they're charging you interest. So just be careful if you're doing it that way. You know, all my previous videos, I suggested using the checking account. That's, you know, if you're just a spender, you don't have to discipline. At least with a checking account, they'll decline it after, you know, you don't have enough and you know you hit your limit. Again, with credit card, the problem is that the value is too high, that credit line is too high. You know, you may run into those issues. So just be careful with that, guys. So In the next video, we'll actually start the process. We're going to simulate these accounts and we're going to run through each different way of doing it to see which way would be faster. It's not something that I have to always do. In this particular case, Todd is really interested in how long it's going to take him. Sharp guy, he's always thinking and trying to keep your mind going. I always suggest that, even if if you guys are working with me or you're working with someone else, don't just go by what we say. Think about, brainstorm, always find other ways of doing it. Is it worth it? Well, if you're looking at $250,000 in 19, 20, 30 years, it might be worth it to knock that down to 15 years or less, or 9 years or 5 years. So always be inquiring, always, if you're working with someone, the fact that you're working with them, start learning on your own. If you go through the, I think it's the Creating Wealth videos, it lists quite a few books that you can start to educate yourself and learn these things for yourself. I want to thank you guys for watching. As always, if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And if you found value in this, I appreciate a thumbs up. Thumbs up helps push this out to more people who, if just knowing this little bit of information can save them time and bring more joy and happiness to the family, and we can help push this out, I would appreciate it. Again, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.